Welcome to your piano lesson. If you're here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch an introduction video of the channel. I'm leaving the link in the description below. If you like the content of my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm aiming to publish 2 weekly tutorials. Now let's dive into the lesson. Today I want to start a completely new project. After talking about very easy methods, for example like the John Thompson's Easy Piano Course Part 1, 2, 3, even approaching the 4, talking about ABRSM pieces, scales, arpeggios, important technical exercises to improve the passages and to improve the finger strength, I think that now it's finally time to fix the foundations of the piano technique. I think that I can start talking about very important facts that should be intended, like the very first steps. Obviously after learning the notes, because indeed I spoke also about music theory, and you can refer to the music theory lessons to learn how to read the notes, how to read the music sheet, if you are really starting from zero and landing on my YouTube channel and landing on this video. And indeed, after so many lessons, after so many tutorials, talking about many things, including the chord progressions, I was saying today is time to build up the foundations of the piano technique. And the first thing that I want to explain today is referring to the finger strength. How to build up the finger strength, and even more, how to gain that very high control of your fingers, of the hand, of the wrist, of the forearm, the elbow, the arm. You see that I'm going backwards from the fingertips up to the shoulders and obviously to the spine. If you don't raise your control over your fingers and over the whole body, and if you don't increase the finger strength, you obviously will have always problems playing nicely or playing more complicated piano pieces. But even if you want to simply play chords and enjoy your songs singing along, it's very important that you increase the finger strength, unless you don't accept obviously normal sound that you can generate by simply pushing down the keys in whichever way. And the first exercise is the one that I like to call single articulation exercise, where we are going to focus on the single action, on the action of the single finger. Not consider them in blocks, for example like when you play long passages or even small phrases, but the single action. And it is better that we dive into the lesson to understand what I'm talking about. And now let me explain the exercise. As you can see, single articulation exercise. I have identified 4 stages. I would really like you to focus on the 4 stages of every single action. And what do I mean? So let me first of all read what I wrote. I wrote, warming up is the moment when you warm up the finger that has to play in that moment. Then there is the moment when you hit the key. In the past I was saying when you attack the key. Obviously attack sounds a little bit more violent, but hit the key is the expression that we need to understand the action of hitting the key. The third stage is the adjustment, and I will explain along the way what I mean. The very last one is the tension release, the moment when you relax. The fingers that we are going to use for these very basic stage of the single articulation exercise are 1, 3, 2, so first, third, second, second, fourth, third, third, fifth, fourth. And then in another one we do 1, 2, 3, so first, second, third, second, third, fourth, third, fourth, third, fourth, fifth. I will show you that we can also consider them in the opposite way, like 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5, 3, obviously much more complicated than the same in this one. In general, the most basic one that I would suggest is exactly this one, and simply in one direction, obviously just to start. But in one video I'd like to give you more tips regarding all these. Let's start talking about the warming up, this warm-up. So what do I mean? I mean that the finger that is going to play, and let's start indeed with the thumb, has to be simply warmed up. So it's just about bringing your attention, taking your attention, focusing on the finger that you are going to use, and becoming aware that it's going to work, that it's finally going to move. Before anyways playing with the first, I want to recall a very important thing, a very important fact. It's about the anatomy of the hand. It's the way the fingers are made and the way they work according to Mother Nature. So the thumb is the finger that can work much more going from left to right. I want to show you using both cameras. So you see? Left, right. Obviously you will see the hand in this way. And this is the most appropriate action of the thumb. The thumb can go also up and down. Obviously it's not wrong and is something that we use anyways, but the most typical action of the thumb is left, right, indeed for the thumb passage and the crossing of the thumb. I'll show you also through this camera. I was saying it can go up and down, yeah? But the most appropriate one is exactly this one. The other fingers, 2, 3, 4 and 5, they work going up and down. So their articulation is exactly this one. You see? Up and down, up and down. All of them. When we study piano, we have to definitely keep all this in consideration. When now we warm up the thumb, obviously it's not that much comfortable, but anyways you try to do it. A little bit, yeah? And so, the warming up will be maybe 5 times you warm up the thumb, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You become aware that you have the thumb, and you can use it in this way, and you move to the second stage, when you hit the key. And you play it. Now, in this case, just when we use the thumb, the adjustment is not that much needed, because 99.99 cases out of 100, I think that you don't have any problem pushing down a key using the thumb. Simply lift, so raise a little bit, yeah, and then you go down. So the action has to be exactly this one. Bam! Okay? Quite strong. So you lift, you raise, and you go down, you push it down. Don't push it from close, going simply down. I don't want you to simply imagine this is the key. I don't want you to go simply down. I want you to do this. Bam! After understanding that in this specific case of the thumb, the adjustment is not that much needed, I will clarify even more when talking about the third, the second, and so on. We have to obviously now mind the fourth stage, the tension release, the moment when you relax. But what do you relax? You relax the other fingers, the ones that are not playing. So if the thumb is down, and you by any chance you have second, third, fourth, and fifth tense in this way, as you can see. See, up, pointing the piano, yeah? It means that there is tension. I show you also through this camera. If you have the thumb down and the other finger stands up and not curve and relax towards the keyboard, it means that there is a problem. It means that you have to relax then. And that's why I wrote this fourth stage. You have to remember that after you hit the key, you have to release any tension. You have to relax completely. In this way, you have completed a package that is referring to the first. When you play the third, when you have to go to the third and you start using the third, you repeat again the same identical mechanism. So you start warming up the third, but how do you warm up the third? The third has to be warmed up, especially at least using 4 and 5. Why? Because we have to remember now the anatomy of the hand. As Chopin was saying, and I definitely confirm, the hand of the pianist has to be intended in this way. Thumb by itself, not only the hand of the pianist at the end, but we have to be aware, we pianists. The second by itself, and 3, 4 and 5 strictly connected, because there are tendons here that are sticking almost together, 3, 4 and 5. And if you start moving, for example, if we close the lid, and you try to move the third by itself, yeah, it's easy. But the fourth, not that much. The little finger a little bit more is easier, yeah? It depends now how much you have worked, or if you haven't worked at all and you're simply starting. It all depends. That's why I say that when you have to activate the third, when you have to use the third, you have to lift up, you have to warm up all of them, 3, 4 and 5. Let me show you also using this camera. So I was saying that 3, 4 and 5, they are strictly connected, because there are tendons that are almost sticking together, 3, 4 and 5. Now, what I was saying is that you can have fun and try to move by themselves these fingers, yeah? You will notice that the fourth doesn't do that much. The third maybe a little bit more, pretty much. The little finger as well, but the fourth no. But anyways, even though we are going to use the third, start from now lifting, so raising all of them, articulating all of them at once. In this way you start getting used. And indeed, let's carry on. Having the thumb down, that is the last one that has been used, You simply now warm up, as I said, 3, 4 and 5. If you want even the second, it's not wrong. Become aware of everything at least 5 times minimum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Become aware that they can work by themselves. Then, once you feel that the fingers are curved enough and towards the keyboard, yeah, in this way, when you feel that they are curved enough, relaxed, and pointing the keyboard, touching the keyboard, you can finally plan to hit the key, and you lift up 3, 4 and 5, and in slow motion you go down and change. Not jumping from one to another one, but like stepping, like when you walk, you move from left to right, and then you release the left, isn't it? You do the same, you don't jump, no jumping at all. Doing also from here, using this camera, so what do is this. You are with the thumb down, you lift up all of them, maybe even the second, so you raise all of them, and in slow motion you do exactly this and change. Once you are down, you release the thumb, you release the key, you lift the thumb, and you are finally now down with the third. Let's do it again using the top camera. With the thumb down, we do. These obviously would be not in slow motion. In slow motion it would be up, down, and exchange. Now, in this case, it turns really useful, the adjustment, because I am almost 100% sure that many of you will play using the finger, the third finger, in this way, bending it in this way. Let me show you what I mean. I'm almost sure that many of you will play in general using the finger in this way and not in this. In this and not in this. Where there is no curved line, where the angle, let's say, is not the acute one, but is the obtuse one. This is the one that we need. Yeah? You have to bend it in this way, not in this way. In this way is not useful. It doesn't help at all. So, and indeed, if you push it down in this way, if it's curved in the wrong way, you have to automatically adjust it. So if it stays down in this way, you automatically adjust it. And now, assuming that you have adjusted, what do? In case, for example, in this case, it turns very useful, the tension release, the last one, the relax. If you have, in this case, any of the remaining fingers, the little, the fourth, the second, or all of them up, tense, you have to relax them. Obviously, you might say, Gianluca, but it's so complicated. I have to be able to have the tension just in one finger and release completely the other ones. I perfectly understand. This is the complication of This is the reason why the piano training, the piano practice takes so long if you want to become a very good one. It's normal. So you have to learn how to tense one finger, to raise the finger strength of the finger that is playing, and relax completely the other ones. But trust me, if you get used, if you get the habit to do it every single day you practice, and you start focusing on these things, trust me, automatically it will happen. You don't know when, nobody knows when, because everybody's different, but it will happen. You will become the boss of your hand. You will raise the control over the fingers, over the hands, and you will be able to do all you need to do to play what you're dreaming to play. I will simply complete the first one, and obviously the other ones are using the same identical principle. Maybe I will clarify a few elements of some of these ones, of these two of the first row. But anyways, I had the third down. Having the third down, since I've completed now the 4 stages related to the third, same story. Now I warm up the second, this time the second by itself. You don't need to warm up the second using the thumb. So when you have the third down, you simply warm it up, not calling also the thumb is not needed. So you warm it up at least 5 times, then in slow motion, bum, you hit the key. In slow motion you do bum, and you exchange. So once you have played, in this case the D with the second, you check, same story. Same as I said with regarding the third finger. If, for example, you hit the key bending the finger in the wrong way, you have to simply adjust it. Let me show you what I mean. If you hit the key playing using the fingers in the wrong way, bending it in this way, boom, automatically adjust it. You see? Not this way, but this way. So So you have adjusted now the second finger. And now, if there is any tension, as we know, tension release, relax the remaining ones and simply keep this one tense. Just few words regarding the move 4-3. Obviously, when you move from 2 to 4, it's very easy. I mean, you have the second down, obviously doing the warming up, hitting the key, the adjustment, the tension release. When you move to the fourth, as we said, now even more is needed, that you lift, you warm up, you articulate all of them. The 3, the 4 and the 5. Having the second down, you move all of them, you articulate all of them, yeah? Chick, 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 in this way. And obviously, you do the same, you hit the key with the fourth. The fourth even more needs the check, because it's really likely that you push it down in the wrong way, bending it in the wrong way. Immediately the adjustment, yeah? And what about now the usage of the third? You might think obviously that you have to stress and you have to articulate, warm it up using just the third. Don't worry, you can use also the second. The second will help the third working very, very well. So I was saying that when you move from 4, this one, the fourth finger, 2, 3, don't worry about using just the third for the warming up. You can warm it up using also the second. In this way it will be very, very, very easy. And you will really become aware of the usage of your fingers. And that's all I wanted to add regarding this complicated move from 4 to 3, or obviously 3-4. As mentioned, you can intend all of them done in the way they are, so following simply the order, or inverted. You can also do 2, 3, 1. All of them. You can do the same. All of them. None of them excluded. More combinations, more patterns you generate, better it is. Yeah? All of them. Obviously consider all these a simple start. It's not all. Just playing once for you. Obviously now I am going to play them for you fast, not doing the single checks, because anyways have been done, but you have to really step by step check every single thing. I can show maybe once, one of them maybe using the second block. So you do the warming up, you warm up the second, you hit the key. So if by any chance you didn't hit the key using the finger correctly, bending it in the wrong way, you adjust. And then you check if there is any tension. Then you start warming up the remaining fingers, 3, 4 and 5, to hit the key with the fourth. Once you're ready, you do 4. In case of wrong usage of the fourth, you simply adjust, you generate the curved line, this bridge, yeah? And then you check if there's any tension, you release any tension, you relax. And then you move to the preparation of the third. As I said, you do the warming up, then you hit the key, just with the third, obviously, in slow motion would be bam. Then any adjustment needed, okay, so if you use the finger wrongly, it has to be adjusted in this way. And then, if there is any tension, as you know, you release the tension. This is obviously the way you will play. Then 3, 5, 4 would be, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 2, 3, 4, 5. One day you will see what can come out if we combine all these single blocks and we can generate a proper exercise. But there is one even more exciting that I will explain in the near future. That's all for today. I really hope you have enjoyed the lesson. It's very atypical and it's very brand new project talking about the piano technique and the foundations of the piano technique. Feel free more than ever to comment, to let me know if you have enjoyed the lesson, if you have understood everything, if there is anything that I didn't mention and you consider very important for you, because for me could be obvious, and it is normal that can be obvious, but you have to definitely express yourself, tell me what you think and which dumps did I raise in you while explaining the single articulation exercise. Just one more thing to mention: if you have really enjoyed my tutorial, and if you are really enjoying my tutorials, I would really appreciate if you mind the new super thanks button that you find underneath It's very easy to be found. It's either visible or you can find it clicking on the three dots. If you're really appreciating my content, my videos, if you enjoy this tutorial and all the tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel, and you want to support me, I would really appreciate. I hope that you understand how much work there is behind every single tutorial, because it's not only about filming or playing. The editing process is quite time consuming, and then the upload and the editing of the description and all is behind the video itself, the setting, the YouTube setting. It's quite time consuming. I'm doing with all my heart because I really love what I do. Music is my life, and probably you understood how much passion I really put into all I do. So your super thanks would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. All the best.